The Asian Oil, Gas and Petrochemical Engineering Exhibition, or OGA 2019, was initiated in 1987 to serve the industry not only in Malaysia, but also throughout the region. More than 3 decades later, OGA has grown to become the premier oil and gas event in the region. That I congratulate the organizers. The 17th OGA has attracted 2,000 companies from 60 countries, with the exhibition itself covering 20,000 square feet. I've been informed that 23,000 trade visitors from around the world will be visiting the exhibition in the next few days. Last year, the world experienced great volatility in oil prices. Brent crude oil prices rose to $86 per barrel in early October 2018, from $67 per barrel at the start of last year. But less than 2 months after October 2018, prices dropped by 30% to $57 per barrel due to a glut in the global market, before rising to $62 per barrel as of yesterday. Industry experts expect Brent crude oil prices to hover from $60 to $70 per barrel this year, which is sufficient to revive some of the exploration and production activities that may have been deferred due to lower oil prices not too long ago. For the government, every $1 per barrel increase in crude oil price brings to the treasury approximately 300 million ringgit in revenue annually, and vice versa. But at the same time, the government is not so reliant as before on petroleum revenue. For instance, in 2009, 41.3% of government revenue came from petroleum sources. In 2019, only an estimated 19.5% of total government revenue came from petroleum sources, not counting the special one-off dividend from Petronas used to finance GST and income tax refunds. Thank you, Tan Sri Wanzul. I won't shock him further. The forecast rebound in global crude oil prices is positive for Malaysia's upstream sector, as it is reviving industry appetite in exploration and development works, especially for projects located in deep water and technologically challenging areas where the cost of investment and operations are high. For Malaysia, our oil and gas sector is moving up the value chain to protect the country from excessive volatility seen in the upstream business. In the fourth quarter of 2019, we will witness the full commercial operations of Petronas and Saudi's Aramco, USD 16 billion ringgit, 300,000 barrel per day RAPID project, refinery and petrochemical integrated development project. RAPID will turn Malaysia into a next exporter of refined fuels for the first time since 2008. This venture marks a historic partnership between two of the most successful national oil companies in the world, Petronas and Aramco. The collaboration brings together vast resources, technologies, experience, expertise, and commercial presence, much to the benefit of both companies and both countries. As Malaysia moves up the value chain in the oil and gas sector, it's also important to remember that Malaysia is a diversified economy. In 2018, mining contributed about 8% of the GDP, while manufacturing contributed 22% and services 57%. Having said that, we all know that oil and gas is still the industry that matters, that drives the global economy. Now, Malaysia finds itself strategically located in the global supply chain, and that's why we are benefiting from the ongoing trade war between China and the United States through business relocation as well as trade and investment diversion. The reorientation of the global supply chain and Malaysia's competitiveness have resulted in the country's approved FDI in manufacturing surging by 127% to 20.2 billion ringgit in the first quarter of 2019 from 8.9 billion ringgit for the corresponding period last year. Total approved FDI across all sectors for the first quarter of 2019 rose by 73.4% year-on-year to 29.3 billion ringgit from 16.9 billion ringgit last year. And in April 2019, Malaysia's industrial production growth accelerated to 4% year-on-year from 3.1% in March 2019. The 4% industrial production expansion was driven by strong manufacturing growth as well as recovery in mining output. Further, the 4% April growth was above the market consensus of 2.5% as compiled by Bloomberg. And of course, if the supply breakdown problems can be resolved, I'm sure there will be even more good news from the mining sector. Now, these FDI numbers shows that Malaysia is a preferred safe haven in the region. This is due, among others, Malaysia's open door policy, excellent infrastructure, highly skilled workers, and our business-friendly government policies. Whichever industry we are in, new technology is fundamentally changing the way we live, work, and play. This is no different in the oil and gas industry. Indeed, the maturing Industry 4.0 technologies are lowering the cost of technological adoption and encouraging new production models that are disrupting the oil and gas sector. Abundance of oil and gas resources alone is no longer a guarantee for long-term economic prosperity. Continuous application of new technology to improve efficiency and quality is a new norm. Industry players have no choice but to constantly innovate and invest in new technology to remain competitive globally. This is where events such as OGA play a highly pivotal role, showcasing and highlighting the latest technology, equipment, and machinery in the field of exploration, production, and transportation within the oil and gas industry. Of course, management also counts. And Petronas is an example of what good management brings forth for the company and the country. I am confident that OGA 2019 will play a vital factor in the advancement of Malaysia oil and gas industry, cementing our position further as an oil and gas leader in the region. So it now gives me immense pride to hereby officially open the 17th Asian Oil, Gas and Petrochemical Engineering Exhibition 2019. Thank you very much.